Hi everybody, thanks for tuning in. You may notice my eye look is a little bit dramatic today. I am taking part in a special little challenge, so I'm in the midst of that, so hopefully this isn't too distracting for you as I talk about some completely unrelated products. But I do have some demos and some little tutorials along the way in this video, but I wanted to talk about a bunch of new things, newish things that I've tried from the Flower Beauty line. That is a line of makeup that's exclusive to Walmart. Drew Barrymore created it. I noticed in my list of videos, I went back a few years and I did do a video reviewing a handful of products. Many of them are still part of the line, just right after everything first launched. So I will link to that video below if you want some additional product information. But since that time, I've been sent a few things. I've looked into a few more things in my local Walmart store. So I just wanted to share with you what I found out from this little trial and error process. First thing I want to mention, this was one of the things that I was sent. I just had kind of like a random little assortment of like 5 different things that were in a box. One of those things is called an EE, Erase Everything. So we've seen BB, CC, there are DD creams. This, I guess, is calling itself an EE Erase Everything Ultimate Foundation. And the shade they sent it in is called UF1 and it says Sheer Tint. Well, there is zero tint to this particular shade of this product. I mean, it appears to be white and it is. It's like a white just primer. And the description here says, it's a miracle. Our EE Erase Everything Ultimate Foundation fills in uneven skin texture and fine lines while hydrating the skin. Apply the cream-like balm directly to skin for a silky matte finish. Use alone for a fresh look or as a primer before your favorite flower makeup. So when they put in that, use it as a primer, that kind of gives you the indication this isn't really erasing everything. Like that Erase Everything title I think is so misleading. It might make you think, oh, this is going to be a full coverage foundation type product, because they do have some skin tone shades along with this. But this was what I was initially sent and I was like, what? You know, this is called Sheer Tint, but there's no color to this. But it's one of these products where you just squeeze the tube and it comes out through a brush. This is not the kind of brush I'm ever really going to use to help me blend. It's just a means of getting the product onto the skin. So I would just assume, you know, that was taken off and we just have a regular squeeze bottle here. Cream-like balm, yes, it really does feel like that. There is a thickness to this product. It almost has the teeniest bit of a cooling feel when I put it on. I've noticed that every single time that I've applied it. I thought, oh, it feels kind of cool. It's interesting. A silky matte finish, yes, I would say it's definitely not glowy on the skin. It doesn't look unnatural on the skin either. It doesn't look like insanely flat. It claims to hydrate the skin, but I definitely would not use this on my skin in place of a moisturizer. I would use this in addition to a moisturizer that I already have on. And this one, you know, really just acts like a standard primer, I think. You know, you're not probably going to wear this alone and really take a lot of satisfaction in coverage because there's no color to it. It's not going to address discoloration. But one thing that I definitely think this does do, it has an effect on the look of my pores. And it does have a claim about uneven skin texture and fine lines. And I think I can kind of see that happening when I have used this, and I can especially tell it when I put a foundation on top. I feel like everything on my skin, like around my nose and the sides of my nose, things tend to look a little bit smoothed out when I've got this underneath. So I do think this can be a really effective primer step, but I think the Erase Everything name and the Sheer Tint name given to something that has no tint to it whatsoever can be a bit misleading. But anyway, this was the one I was sent, and so I thought, well, maybe the tinted versions that are available in this line, did a little research online, realized they did have some skin tone shades. I thought maybe these are like incredibly full coverage, and they're really not. This, I thought, offered a tint of color. I have it in the shade UF4. It's the buff tint. There wasn't a really broad and deep shade range that these were available in either, just FYI. Same kind of brush type applicator. And I applied this as a little demo for you just to see what I'm talking about, but it's extremely, extremely sheer. If you've got discoloration, this stuff can't really touch it. It's just so light coverage. But I think you could use either of these as a primer. The colored one might offer my skin just the slightest bit of sheer coverage, but it is just practically undetectable to me. I think it's just important to manage your expectations a little bit. These do not erase everything. You know, they can be helpful, I think, for pores or uneven texture. I see these, either one, completely as something that's going to continue to be a primer for me, not a foundation. So all that being said, I did apply a foundation on top of those. You're seeing my skin here, not just with those products, but with the Kardashian Beauty No Apologies liquid makeup. I told you guys I was going to put this on so you could see what it looked like on my skin. I would say this is a straight up medium coverage foundation. Has a very basic natural finish on the skin, not super glowy, not super matte either, and I wear it in the shade Natural Beige. So this video isn't about that, but I just wanted to let you know I did follow those steps up with a foundation. And then I want to move on to the concealer. This was something I picked up in my Walmart store. It's called Hollywood Secret Concealer Kit. I have it in the shade HS1. I can't recall if they had other shades available in this as well. But I'm always intrigued when I see, you know, cream style concealer from the drugstore, because I think there's a potential for really good coverage to happen out of a product that's, you know, kind of put together in this way. So there's a teeny tiny brush that comes with it. I'll admit I haven't gotten much use out of that, if at all. But there's also this insert that says you have a brightening primer here, and then all of the rest are labeled as concealers. Two of the shades, this one might even be just a little bit peachy, but two of the shades kind of just cater to all over skin tone. And then this is like a neutralizer. This has a little bit of an olive tone to it, and this, I must say, in all the color correcting that's been happening, there's a lot of light green stuff that's come out, and that's supposed to counteract redness, and I've always felt like the light green has done nothing for me. But this olivey shade, I've used it a time or two when I felt like I was extra red around my nose, and it actually worked. So if you feel like the greens generally do nothing for you, maybe something like this that has a little olive to it might help. But if this is looking familiar to you, it really looked familiar to me, because I am a longtime user of the Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda Concealer Palette. Now, instead of having something that claims to be a brightening primer, this one has a setting powder in it. And I love that feature of this product. I think that was actually an excellent quality setting powder. And just comparing the two texture-wise of all the creamy concealers that are in here, these are a little bit more emollient. There's just a little bit more moisture and creaminess in these. It makes it easier to blend across the skin. These, you know, I'm not saying they're really hard to work with, but there's just a little more stiffness with these. Now, it's not bad. I'm not comparing this to like my LA Colors dollar store concealer that, you know, was really hard to pull across the skin. These are good. They're just not quite as creamy as they could be. But for my demo, I applied that brightening primer, which is a different consistency from the other products. It's thinner, it's kind of lightweight, and it does sort of prep the skin for being really, really brightened on the under eye. And then I use the deeper of the two kind of peachy skin tone colors all over that area and anywhere else where I needed it. And I just used a brush to blend those out. I didn't end up reaching for the olivey green shade today. I didn't really think I needed it. But overall, I think I achieved pretty good coverage from this product. But if we're talking, like I said, similar price range, I do kind of prefer the Sonia Kashuk Hidden Agenda over this. But this is still a really nice product. Now, another thing that really interested me that I saw in my Walmart store is this DB Daily Brightening Under Eye Cover Cream. And so this is a little rollerball product. It came in several shades. I got DB2. It was really hard to decide what shade I might be because I think you were just going off of a little sticker on the packaging. But here's what it looks like. You know, you just got that metal rollerball in there. And it kind of took me back to using that Garnier rollerball that just comes in one like tinted shade. And I know a lot of people have enjoyed that for the under eye area just for light coverage. But this is interesting because I feel like it's more coverage. It's probably the most coverage I've ever seen in anything that's this kind of format. And instead of staying kind of dewy, tacky, moisturizing on the skin, it really does set. This isn't the kind of product that you would absolutely have to set. And I know I already had this concealer on. I probably didn't need to use a whole lot more, but I just wanted to show you a little bit of this product in action, just kind of on like the tops of my cheekbones. And I applied it straight from the rollerball. The cooling sensation is immediate. You definitely feel it, and I love that about this product. I almost wish they would put this out with like a colorless serum in it because that rollerball is just so effective and feels so cooling. Pop it on. You could blend it with your fingers, blend it with a brush, whatever you want to do, but it does have like some decent coverage. It is not shimmery at all. I'm putting some on my hand here. I mean, it's really just like a thin, lightweight concealer. You don't want to let it sit on your skin for too long because it is a very fast setting product, but it has so much coverage to it. I was really impressed. One bit of advice, you may want to consider storing it downward because I've recently started doing that and it definitely rolls off of the roller ball easier that way. When I first got it, I felt like I was having to go back and forth and back and forth, and yeah, the roller ball felt good, but where's the product, you know? So it helps to kind of shake it a little bit downward into the roller ball or just store it like this. Another thing that I tried out, this was part of the little sample package that was sent, is this Zoom In Ultimate Mascara. And I had this once before and I don't think I ever got around to talking about it, but this is a really innovative type of mascara from the drugstore because you're getting a brush that can transform 3 ways. So you pull it out and it looks like kind of a typical wand. It's got rubber bristles, and then there's a little turny thing, a little knob on the end, turny thing, and you turn it once and the brush actually twists just a little bit. So it kind of changes the configuration of the bristles. It makes them look a little more spiraled around, and then you can turn it one more time and it really scrunches the bristles down a little bit. So I don't notice that much effect and difference from the second phase of this wand, but going from the first one where it's totally straight to all the way scrunched in, it takes those bristles and I think it makes them come closer together. So that can be kind of neat for separation. Like you initially apply it this way and then you twist them all the way in and apply a little bit more. I absolutely love the concept behind this product. I wish the brush wasn't quite so big to start out with, just because I think it's a little hard to control, and the bristles, like it's hard to get right in there, you know, really close to your lash line and feel like you're making good contact. So I feel like I'd like this better if the brush was just downsized somewhat overall. I gotta be honest, the length that it builds is just okay for me. The curl holding ability is not that great. It is kind of volumizing and thickening, but I do think it's one of those products that definitely involves some trial and error on the part of the user. You know, what way do you like to use it best? What form of the brush works best for you? But that really is the only mascara I know of, drugstore or high-end, that does something really transformative like that with the wand without having to be like a double-ended thing. Last but certainly not least, this was one of the products I was also sent as a sample and I liked it enough to go seek out another shade in the store. This is the Hydra Silk Ultimate Lip Butter, and I love this, you know, design, this format of a lip product that is the skinny stick. It's kind of like the ColourPop lippy sticks, you know. It's all the fullness of color and the creaminess of a lipstick, but just a little bit more precision. And the shade they sent was Rose Petal. Absolutely love this shade. I mean, I see why they probably sent this out to a massive amount of people because it's so universally workable. Just a nice, soft, kind of dusty rose color, and there's so much shine. These remind me of the Sonia Kashuk Shine Luxe, you know, the sheer lip products that have tons of shine, but the color of a lipstick. Love those, and this is like that all over again. They feel so moisturizing. This is not going to be a product where you're incredibly impressed by the staying power, but they feel so comfortable to apply. It's like it doesn't really bother me to reapply. It's just the faintest of scents that comes from this product, and I've really got to try to hone in on even smelling anything at all. It's just a slight makeup-y scent, but that's not really something that stands out to me. I think the packaging is just gorgeous. So I love that Rose Petal shade, and then I went out and got the nude shade called Naked Petal, and that's what I've been wearing throughout the video, and I think this is stunning as well. Such a wearable nude color. Not too light, not too brownish. If you're looking for straight up kind of classic nude, a little bit of a sandy type nude, this is awesome. So basically those are the newest things that I've tried from the Flower Beauty line. I've had some questions about it, just wanted to give you a little update. Again, the Erase Everything product, I do think this makes a nice primer. Just don't look for a lot of coverage, like skin tone evening out coverage from this kind of thing, but I do like this product. I really liked the roller ball too. That was different. It was really much better coverage than I was expecting. And these Hydra Silk lipsticks are just like a treat for your mouth. They feel incredible. incredible on. They look great. Nice shine to these products. If you're tired of matte dry lips, go get you some of these. As I described, the concealer quad, you know, good but not amazing. The mascara, super innovative, just not my ideal mascara. And as I said, please check out my past video where I covered even more Flower Beauty products. But a couple things just off the top of my head that I know I like from this line and was really impressed with. Their blush bronzer duos. These are super duper pigmented. I am wearing this one today in the shade Gloriously Golden. I've had this for a while, and I believe the first one that I got was Ready Set Glow, but there are matte blushes in here. They are crazy pigmented, so good, very underrated. And also their eyeshadow quads. This is the one called Foxy Browns. I know I've talked about how wonderful these are. There's a great matte brown in here, some shimmery shades, and they've got quite a few other shades that they've come out with since, but that's a nice find from this line if you're just kind of browsing. But thank you guys so much for your time. I hope this was useful, and I will see you again soon. Bye.